you both have mustaches.
Yeah. We are men, so. Yep.
Squishy, squishy, squishy.
I'm right here. I'm right here.
Okay, so we just got out of Fall Guy. I'm gonna start off by saying, overall, I really, really enjoyed this movie. But at the very beginning of it, maybe like the first quarter, there was a bunch of kids in the theater, and they were so obnoxious, and I wanted to throw my Skittles at them.
By far the worst theater experience I've had in a very long time.
Yeah.
That being said, you know it's a good movie when you stick through all that and actually had a good time watching the movie. Funny at parts, a little cheesy at parts. The action was really good, which is what you want from a movie about a stuntman.
For me, I honestly thought the action was perfect because it wasn't like gory, it wasn't over the top, like I have to look away, and that's kind of the action I like. Well, as a first reaction, I really enjoyed the movie, and I can't wait to take notes and dive back into it.
Same. Good movie, pretty funny, pretty easy watch. You don't really
Horrible theater.
Horrible theater. Anyway, we'll see you back at the house where we're going to give you a little bit more of a structured review. This was just our first reactions. So thanks for listening, and we'll see you guys pretty soon. Okay, so we're back at home. Now we're going to sit down and have like a little bit more of a thought out review. Knowing us, it's not going to be thought out at all. We're just going to talk to each other and hope you guys like it. In case you clicked on this video and you don't know what Fall Guy's about, or you just saw Ryan Gosling's hot face and wanted to see what his movie was, then you came to the right place, because Zoe is going to tell you exactly what the movie's about with no spoilers. That comes later.
Okay, so basically the plot is a stuntman, which is played by Ryan Gosling, comes back to the job after a previous accident and time off for the love of his life, which is the new up-and-coming director played by Emily Blunt. When her lead role goes missing and a dead man is found on ice, the stuntman finds himself in the middle of the wrong people. He must find the lead actor to bring him back to finish the movie, or else he risks his life and the love of his life.
Okay, so now thanks to my beautiful co-host, you know exactly what the movie's about. A little extra information. It's got an 89% on Rotten Tomatoes. It's exactly 2 hours and 5 minutes long, and it's PG-13. Kind of feels a little bit more mature than PG-13 at some aspects. I don't know if you would agree with me or not.
Yeah, I would.
It's a little bit more mature than you would expect. With all that out of the way, let's get into what we actually thought about the movie and whether or not you guys should go see it. If you think it's a cheesy action movie and a little bit of a cheesy rom-com, you're probably right.
I disagree. I think it's cheesy, but I feel like cheesy is the wrong word to use for it, only because when you hear the word cheesy, you think of like a negative connotation of something. But I think it was cheesy in like the best way possible, where it was goofy and it was playful, but it wasn't like, I didn't ever like cringe because I was like, oh, they shouldn't have done that, or oh, that was like stupid.
It's like extra cheese on your pizza. It's a lot of cheese, but you want it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, cheese in the best way. It's also just a fun movie to watch when your theater doesn't suck. But even still, with that in mind, having a bad theater experience, I still wanted to watch this movie. And I think that says more than anything else I could say in this review. It kept me in the seat. I didn't want to leave the theater, even though I really wanted to leave the theater. It takes a special movie to keep me in a noisy, obnoxious theater. But we've said enough about that. We won't touch on that again. That's just always in the back of my mind when I think of this movie now. Other good things about the movie, the chemistry between Ryan Gosling, not Reynolds, Gosling, got it right that time, and Emily Blunt is actually really believable. It's really good. Zoe liked it more than I did. I was more interested in the action and didn't really care about that, because the action in this movie, really good. It's a movie about a stuntman. You hope the action would be good and that they would pay like high reverence to the actual stuntmen they're making a movie about. And they did, 100%. The action was grounded, hard-hitting, very punchy, fun to watch.
I felt like I was I put myself in the movie, basically, and it was a lot of fun to watch, and I really enjoyed it.
As far as the acting goes, obviously Ryan Gosling knocks it out of the park. He just makes me so excited when I watch the movie.
I'm not the biggest Ryan Gosling fan, only because I find him to be in more comedic roles recently, and that's not my forte. I'm a huge fan of The Notebook.
He's so good in comedies. He's so good in comedies.
I'm just not a comedy person. I will say, though, he absolutely killed it in this movie. I also found that there were scenes, which I'm not going to spoil it now. I might talk about it at the end when we do spoilers. But there was a scene where he gets really emotional, and this is the first time I think I've ever, like, fully believed a character was emotional in a movie and not just, like, thinking, oh, well, it's a movie, they're acting.
Now for a little bit of an unpopular take on my end, I thought Emily Blunt was okay. I didn't think she was amazing. She plays a character in this movie that is likable, but you don't love her. And in a rom-com action movie, whatever this movie truly is categorized as, I wanted to like her a little bit more, and I wanted to root for them a little bit more. I plan on seeing this movie a second time, so maybe that'll come across better the second viewing. But when I was watching it the first time, I didn't really root for the couple.
Yeah, I agree. I honestly wish we got more from Emily Blunt's character.
Yeah.
I feel like she's kind of just in the background. So I think because of that, Emily Blunt's character kind of gets hidden in the shadows a little bit for a lot of the scenes. I do think the scenes that she was in, she played really well. I found her character to be really funny and comical and lighthearted, just like Ryan Gosling. So I liked her in it, but I will say I wish we got a little bit more from her.
Okay, now the good stuff's out of the way, and we can talk about what we really want to talk about. The bad. We can rip this movie to shreds. I don't enjoy ripping movies apart, but it is fun to talk about and just to see what I didn't like versus what Zoe didn't like. And maybe you'll have similar opinions, so it's always useful to talk about the bad things in a movie. So that being said, I usually love this actress. I thought she was great in Ted Lasso. And if you've seen the show and you've seen the trailer for this movie, you probably know what I'm talking about. It's the owner of the team in Ted Lasso. I don't remember her name right now. I probably should look it up if I can. I'll put it right here. Right here. Beautiful face. I loved her in Ted Lasso. Could not stand her in this movie. She was walking around with a Diet Coke in her hand every second with a straw.
I can't stand, this is my, like, biggest problem with movies a lot these days. Everything is an ad. Like, everything. I've seen it in Mean Girls recently. I've seen it in all of these different movies where it's like, everything's going on, everything's moving along, and then it's like, Diet Coke. Yeah. Or it's like elf lip gloss.
Or
like
the
in
villain
Mean
in
Girls.
a superhero movie gets killed by a Pepsi Cola billboard.
Literally
a billboard kills the villain of the movie in the penultimate scene, and you're supposed to, like, really feel triumphant, and you're just looking at a Pepsi sign on the ground.
I understand that they have sponsorships and these partners are helping them fund these movies, but at the same time, like, they're a little bit too blunt with it. And, like, the first thing you notice when her character walks out for the first time is that she holds a Diet Coke can. And
that really wasn't what bothered me. I'm glad we talked about that. But what bothered me was the fact that she had a straw in her can. You put a straw in your can?
If I have a straw, yes, I will use it.
Okay, bad news. This channel's over. She's single now. We'll talk about that later. I'll deal with that. As far as other things that were bad about the movie, we really don't have a lot bad to say about it. We really liked it.
I personally just had so much fun watching this movie, and I think the end was so, like, intense that I kind of wished the end was a little bit longer, only because I wanted to know more about, like, their relationship.
Okay, with all that out of the way, let's just go ahead and give our ratings for this spoiler-free part of the video. If you want to know a little bit more about the movie and a little bit more detail, hang around for the spoiler section after the outro for this video. But for now, we're going to go ahead and give our ratings. I'm going to let the ladies go first, as always.
I'm actually going to rate it a 4.7. Only because I really, really love this movie and I'm definitely going to buy it when it comes out. But there were a couple things that, like, I felt like was missing. Like, a little bit more of the romance was missing. I don't know. I really enjoyed it. I just think that little aspect could have been a little bit better.
I think this movie is a solid, good time. Shut your brain off. Go have fun at the theater. And because of that, I'm going to give it a 3.5.
A 3.5?
3.5.
No, it does not deserve that low rating.
Should I give it a 4?
Yeah, you should give it a 4.
4?
Yeah. Give it a 4.
Give it a
Just, come on.
I don't know if I want to give it a 4.
Give it a 4.
All right.
Woo!
Good old 3.5.
Oh my god.
Okay, so after averaging our scores together, I guess this movie gets a 4. 4 beans out of 5 beans. What are you doing?
I have beans. You don't see the beans?
I don't see the beans.
You're blind then.
I do have glasses. to.
My least favorite scene is when Jason Momoa comes in at the end. I just don't like him. His acting's not good. He's too big and muscular, and he's just not cute. I don't like looking at his face or his muscles.
You do know it's actually Momoa, right?
I know it's Momoa. For those who've seen Big Brother, there's a girl named Kat who goes on Big Brother, and she goes, "You look like Jason Momoa."
Sick.
So now I say Jason Momoa.
She definitely won the show, right?
No. My problem with it is the whole point of this movie is stunts, right? You're a stunt man. And Ryan Gosling is the stunt man because he looks just like the main role. So Ryan Gosling does, like, all of the stunts for this movie because they're like, we don't need the main guy. We're just going to have you do it and just, like, deep fake his face, right? Which is perfect. How the hell could they do that for Jason Momoa when they do not look the same? How does it work? It wouldn't work. So...
It doesn't work. It would never work.
It would never work.
He's turned into Trump. He got so mad. You can never do it. It's impossible. That's the thing about this movie. Is the movie ends, like, twice.
Yeah, it does.
And then there's an end credit. And then the end credit is actually part of the movie because it shows you, like...
What happens
to the villain of the movie, who, spoiler alert, in the spoiler section, he... blows up, just kills himself.
Yeah, he does.
Because he used his phone in an area that was like radio controlled and rigged for explosives, and his phone sent out a signal, and he went.
Yeah.
So like the whole movie, we're fighting this guy, but can't kill him because we want to keep him alive because it's the right thing to do. And then for a laugh, they kill him off in the end credits.
Yeah, wait, that makes no sense. I never even really realized that. And then the girl's like, "Give me Jason Momoa's agent, please."
Yeah.
His agent says that.
Yeah, they just kill him for a laugh.
So another funny thing that I realized, right, mid-movie, we're watching it, right, I'm enjoying it, I'm having a good time, whatever. Then this blonde chick pops up out of nowhere, right? That was also my problem. I have a problem with her character because she's, like, never in it.
She's in it for an action scene. That's her whole point.
She's literally there to, like, kill whoever's, like, breaking in the house, like, scare them off at least. And then she's like, yeah, where's Ryder? Like, hello, you gotta tell me, like, help me find him or whatever. And then she's not there the entire movie, but then she's there filming at the very end when he does that, like, monologue scene. But anyways, my whole point to this whole section was he didn't know this, and he didn't believe me when I said it, but she is actually the actress who plays the main female role in The Choice. But she looks nothing like it because she's so much older and mature, and she has no eyebrows. I looked over him, I go, and I whisper, I go, "Is that the girl from The Choice?" And he's like, "No." And I'm like, okay. And I Googled it, and sure enough, it was her.
I thought there was no shot that was the same girl. So this is probably the biggest spoiler of the movie. And it made my watching experience so much better watching this happen with Zoe. Because the producer, the one that everybody, at least me, hates watching on this movie is the villain. She's behind everything. But before that switch happens, you don't suspect her. She's just the nice one. She's trying to fix the director's problem. She's trying to make sure she can get back the lead actor so the movie goes on schedule. But she has her hands on everything. So me being me, and I've seen tons of movies, I was like, oh, that's the villain. She's behind it. She's too involved. The reveal happens. Zoe goes, and I was like, you're shocked? You're shocked. And I started cracking up because I'm like, I had that figured out in like the first 30, 40 minutes of the movie. And Zoe's over there like, oh my god, this is like watching Dune for the first time.
When I'm watching a movie, I'm focusing on the main character and everyone else is just background noise. When other characters, like this producer, who is barely really in it, she's only in it to fix things or whatever, I feel like I didn't have an emotional attachment to that character. She was so background noise that, like, I just wasn't expecting it. I also wasn't expecting the whole murder to be, like, a planned way of getting out of it. Like, I didn't think it was going to be, like, a harmless murder and then try to, like, cover it up and, like, frame it on him. We find out that it was planned when he gets captured by Ryder. Mm-hmm. And you're like, oh, shit. And then he explains the whole story and you're like, wait, there's more to this? So, like, I'm just gullible. I didn't see it coming. But that's what I loved about this movie, is that I'm gullible and I didn't see it coming.
Well, speaking of the grand reveal in this movie, I thought that this movie was going to be a little bit more high stakes, like almost fantastical in a way. I'm really happy they did it in the way that they did it, being a cover-up for an actor who is just out of control and can't handle himself. I thought that grounded the movie in a weird way. It made it more believable. Mm-hmm. And it made the stakes a lot lower, but in a way it also made them higher because, like, it's a real person who you care about, whose career and life and hopefully, fingers crossed, his soon-to-be wife are at stake. It made you care a lot more. Also, deep faking somebody to commit a crime, very possible nowadays.
Oh, yeah.
Very scary.
I almost loved that they used that because it was something that, like, is so new, but something that's so trending right now. Especially when he made the comment. He was like, oh, yeah, put me on Tom Cruise's body. I was like, wait, that people do that. Tom Cruise got, like, caught doing these things, whatever, and it ended up being a deep fake.
All over TikTok.
Literally how it became a thing. So I think it's funny that they made a reference towards that.
Anyways, that's going to do it from us. If you liked our movie reviews, please let us know. We really enjoy watching movies together. I'm a huge cinephile. I love watching any new movie that comes out. I'll literally go to the theater to watch a documentary, as long as it's in the big screen. So yeah, just let us know if you guys liked it. We really enjoy making these videos. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. And always, make sure you like and subscribe. Oh, and because we don't have Nora right now, because she's decided that every cable in my room has now become a chew toy because she's teething. So she has been sent to Grandma and Grandpa's. So, to end this video, and pay tribute to one of my favorite YouTubers of all time, Jeremy Johns,